Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nature Patch. My name is Robin and today I'm going to be showing you a really quick video while it's super windy outside, of course. When do I not pick a windy day to film? But today's going to be a really quick video to show you how easy composting can be in a small space. So over the last 2 months I've used this bucket here to create some really rich, beautiful dark compost. And the way I've been simply doing that is adding my food scraps right into this bucket, or it's actually a plant pot, and then covering it with a lid and adding a little bit of brown materials here and there, but not too much, and just letting nature do its thing. So I did have a worm farm next to this and I added maybe like 3 worms that I could see and a few worm castings. So those castings must have had eggs in them and the worms hatched, and this bucket is full of worm castings now and really good compost to use straight on the garden. So for the past month or so I haven't been putting any more food in here. It was full to the brim and now it's dropped down to about 1/3 and it's all started to decompose. Alright, so this is what it looks like at the moment. I haven't touched it all, I haven't moved it around. So as you can see, there's lots of little sprouts in there from things that we've been eating, but the majority is just nice black dirt that I can use in my garden. And there's your worms in there as well. Today I'm going to be using this to plant my pumpkin. Pumpkins, as a lot of you know, they grow the best in compost piles, so I'm hoping that this rich nutrients is going to give me really nice and big pumpkins. So one thing I do recommend when you're composting this way is to actually put it on the bare ground rather than up on a ledge or something like that. Worms can climb, yeah, but to get maximum quick compost, I would recommend just keeping this on the ground, because then you can let all of the ants and microbes come up through the soil and into the pot to start breaking everything down. So that's my hand for scale. You can do this in smaller pots. I use yogurt buckets to compost like this, where, I'm not even kidding guys, just literally chuck in your food scraps and maybe a little bit of brown and make sure it's wet, and you will get black compost like this. You don't need a compost bin, you don't need to do a massive compost pile. You just need to make sure that it's moist and that all the microbes can get into it. So I've decided to have a little pumpkin patch over near the bush there. So I'm going to take this and plant a pumpkin, and I also need to plant a cucumber elsewhere in the garden, so I'll take you along with me. Okay, so I've got my veggie patch over there, and then across the fence is just this massive big area where the previous tenants basically just clumped up a lot of grass clippings, and it's slowly breaking down over time. So the top, maybe like 20 centimeters is just really soft, and then it does get down to harder ground, so I'm just going to use my mattock to break it up a little bit, and then I'm going to add in, I've got some potting mix and my lovely dark compost. Alright, so I've dug out the ground a little bit, dug down, gotten some of the rocks out, added in a little bit of the potting mix, and I've just kind of mixed around some of the grass clippings on top, in with that. I'm going to be creating like a little bit of a mound on here, so I'm going to backfill all of the grass clippings on top, and then I'm going to put some compost in and some more potting mix. Alright, I'm going to add the rest of this compost on top and then plant my pumpkin. Okay, and there is my little pumpkin mound. So I'm hoping that all of the worms and the microbes in that compost do their thing and just help give a little bit more nutrients to these grass clippings that were around. But I'm going to give this a really good water, and fingers crossed it does okay. It's got heaps of room to spread out around the veggie patch. So the plan is to plant a few more all along here, so that I don't have to take up space in the garden there. Alright, excuse the helicopters going around. I think that one is actually a water helicopter because there's more bushfires around at the moment. But I realized I hadn't done a garden tour in ages, so I think a lot of this has probably changed a little bit. So I think I'm just going to go plant the cucumber that I need to plant now, and then I'll show you just a few little updates here and there around the garden, because a lot is changing and I'm finally getting a few exciting things pop up here and there. Alright, good morning again everyone. Today is Friday, so it's 2 days after the last day I was filming this. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Today I have my peppermint tea. The other day when I wanted to film, I ended up working for about like 2 and a bit hours in the garden, and by the time I wanted to pick up the camera again, it was already dark. So I'm going to show you where I planted the cucumber now and show you how the veggie patch is going. Excuse the tired face. Scott and I have kind of given up coffee for this week to just see if it helps with a little bit of anxiety problems, and so far I think it is, but I had a bit of withdrawal symptoms, not gonna lie, so hence the peppermint tea to get me through this walk. But yeah, I will take you behind me and show you the veggie patch right there, and also the other main patch too. So let's go. Thankfully it's actually nice and cool this morning. We did before have some really hot days, as I was saying, but thankfully we are predicted to get rain today, which I'm really excited about. This is what the raised beds are looking like at the moment. They're all doing really well. So I'll just show you a few exciting things that are happening once I put my tea down somewhere. Okay. So as I showed you, I did put an arch up. So on here today I need to plant some Malabar spinach seeds that I'm going to be planting there, and hopefully they will trail up. I'm going to be planting the seeds in a pot and then actually planting them in, so I know that they germinate and grow okay. This is my potato that I planted in one of my other videos, where I just kind of had it from the store, where I just stuck it in the ground. Basically this was a potato from the supermarket. I need to just fill it up a little bit more, but after that I'm going to let it grow, and fingers crossed I get some potatoes. And this was a capsicum that I planted, and I got it for $1 from Bunnings, because it was looking really sad. Sorry, I'm gonna have to keep moving around because there's so many ants around. But it's starting to bud up, so hopefully get some nice good capsicums out of this one. And what else is exciting? All my okra's doing well. I'm gonna be planting that this weekend. This is probably the biggest zucchini plant I have. It has grown super fast. I absolutely love the foliage on it. It's got a beautiful kind of metallic pattern on it. It's really silver and green and really beautiful. And that is all starting to slowly get the male and female flowers. And all of these other zucchinis are growing nicely. I think this one did have some kind of mildew on it, but I'm hoping it bounces back. We'll see. It could just be the pattern of the leaves. I have my first little female flower of the golden zucchini. This is probably the one I'm most excited for. And my beans are finally trailing up. My Blue Lake climbing beans. I don't have too high hopes for these, but we'll see how they go. So that's just a few updates on this area here. The spinach is also doing really well. I'm going to harvest some of this and make a quiche or something with it, I think. And the endive I planted is going fantastic. Alright, so moving on from this area, I'll take you around to the other main patch, which is here. And this has got a lot of things happening in there. So first of all, when you start to walk in, my flower bed is doing okay, although my sunflowers that I planted all seem to have some kind of disease, I think. I mean, they've got ants on them, so that might mean they've got aphids. I'm not too sure. It's a bit hard to see. I'm just going to keep an eye on it, but if they don't do okay, that's fine. I can plant other things in here. But the main things that I wanted to show you were, I've got some tomatoes that are doing really well. Got lots of cherry tomatoes here. And some more bigger tomatoes in there. I can't remember, I don't know what this one is because it was a volunteer. More cherry tomatoes there. Lots of spider webs around. So what I did do with all of my tomato plants, as you can see, a little bit of brown underneath them all, and that is just used coffee grounds. So I've heard heaps of people say don't do this because it can burn the plants because it can be quite rich and acidic. But every time I have used coffee grounds on my tomato plants, they have absolutely flourished. So I suppose it could be to do with your soil type. If you already have an acidic soil, adding some coffee grounds might not be the best idea. Also just check your soil before you add anything on. They have been heated to a temperature where the caffeine has been extracted and has been drunk by me. But these are pretty much just really nitrogen rich coffee grounds. In the plants, all of this new lush growth here seemed to be right after I put on the coffee grounds. So to me it works for my plants. For you it might not work, but I have been doing it, and I've been really liking the progress from them. So I've just been going around a lot and taking out some of the suckers because I don't really want them in there. But other than the tomatoes, this is where I planted the cucumber. So I've just used this makeshift wigwam that I used for my snow peas, for my sugar snap peas, sorry. And it seems to be working well, so I'm just going to weave this in and out as it grows. It's got heaps of new flowers on there, so I'm really hoping I get some lemon cucumbers soon. So that's about it for this video. I know I haven't been filming a lot lately. I've just had a lot going on at uni, and YouTube's kind of been on the bottom of the list for that. I've kind of picked up another new job, so that's going to pick up next week. And just some more research work to help with ethical applications at uni. So I'm excited to start a new job, to have something different to do, and I've almost finished writing my paper, which will hopefully be published either this year or next year, talking about the impacts of mining on ecosystem services over the world. So it's really cool stuff, but I really need to focus on that now. So I'm going to try and film as much as I can on the weekend if it's not raining, and hopefully have that up by next week and have this up by today as well. Thank you to all who have been commenting on my videos. I really appreciate it, and although I try and get back to all of the comments, but I tend to be a little bit lazy with comments, so I'm really sorry about that, but I do see them all, and thank you so much for all of your support so far, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and until my next one, happy gardening. Bye.